Ms. Rao, would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Crary?
Here.
Mr. Ricks?
Here.
Mr. Les?
Here.
Ms. Nicholas?
Here.
President Smalls?
Here.
Mayor Mel?
Agenda item 5 is approval of the minutes of the 29th meeting of April 8th and the 30th meeting of April 22nd, 2013.
Mr. President, I'm sorry, it was just going to be the first set of minutes.
The April 8th?
Correct.
Okay. So, Council.
Mr. President,
Councilwoman McCrary?
move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Ms. Rao, please call the roll.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
Mr. Les?
Yes.
Mr. Ricks?
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas?
Yes.
President Smalls?
I vote yes. I will now have a presentation, Mr. DePietro, for the Laurel Town Center project. An update?
Mr. Mayor, Mr. President, members of the council, the mall has disappeared, and I thought you would like to get an update, so I want to introduce to you the team from Greenberg Gibbons who will be developing the mall, and I think they have a lot of news to tell you and also express to the general public. So let me introduce Brian Gibbons, the chairman of Greenberg Gibbons.
Thank you, Bob. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Nice to be here. Nice to see you. First thing I want to tell you is that we are on schedule for the completion and lost no time. I want to thank the city for being so responsive through this permitting process, and thank the council for their support and the mayor for their support through this entire process. We brought some presentation materials tonight. Tom, if you can bring those over so the council and the mayor can see them also.
Right in that area should be good. This way they can pick it up on at home as well, I think.
Okay.
Slide it back just a little bit, Tom, I think we'll. Okay.
Right. Tom, if you go ahead and take that first one so we can kind of give an idea. I think that everybody's familiar with the site plan. The site plan has not changed from when we did the demolition back in August. As Bob DePietro said, we are complete with the demolition. Burlington has now moved out, and we're going to start the demolition of Burlington. We're doing abatement, internal abatement for that project right now. So you'll see in the coming weeks, the Burlington will be coming down, and we'll be commencing our site work. I believe we have most of the permits that we need. We're in final stages for the other permits. We are waiting for WSSC for some final information, but we think that will be forthcoming shortly. But again, the project, as you'll recall, it's a mixed-use project. It's about 400,000 square feet of retail space and 435 residential units. From a residential perspective, we're about to finalize a contract with a residential developer, and I'm sure the developer will be in to start the process, the permitting process, within the next, I would imagine, next several weeks. In terms of the leasing, I'm glad to report what's in blue are signed leases. So we have signed leases with Regal Cinemas, which will do a 12-screen cinema. You'll see at the back of the project there. Next to the new, we took down the old structured deck that was on 4th Street, replacing it with a new deck back there. And then you have the Main Street. On the left, we have a signed lease with Harris Teeter grocery store. We have a signed lease with Sports Authority. And on the right, we have a signed lease with Burlington Coat Factory. We could say, I think, Tom, did you say we're 62% leased at this point? But we're negotiating, we have letters of intent, negotiating letters of intent to get us in the high 80%. We'll be presenting the project in Las Vegas next week, our leasing team, and we think we'll be able to finalize a lot of those leases over the next several weeks. So we'll be continuing to make press releases of who the tenants are going to be. And we're very pleased with the mix of tenants that we see. We think we'll have some soft goods, men's clothing shops, women's clothing shops, children's clothing shops. We're going to replace a lot of the soft good tenancy that used to exist in the mall. And the next one. Again, this is the aerial view, and you can see the Main Street, which fronts on Route 1, entering off of Route 1, going all the way back to the Regal Cinemas with the parking on the right, the residential on the left. And you can really appreciate the size of the site now that all the stuff is out of there. So it's really going to have a tremendous presence at the corner of Cherry and Route 1. We're really excited about the way the site's going to lay out, and I think everybody's going to love it. So that's our bird's eye view. And then, again, this is our street perspective. As you're going up the street, this is kind of halfway up the street. So the main street is about twice the length of you see right there. That's probably 3/4 of the way up the street, isn't it, Tom? About 3/4 of the way up the street. And again, we're negotiating with several restaurants, and we're very confident that we're going to come out when we deliver the project. We're going to be very well leased and very well occupied. These are just some, I'm not in love with computer-generated graphics. I like the artist rendering better, but this kind of gives you the feel with the fountains and the features that we're going to have in the middle of the street, which will have a gazebo, fireplace, fountains, lush landscaping. And we're also tying in lots of stormwater management, bioretention facilities, eco-friendly type of items that will be located throughout the main street. That just gives you kind of idea what it's going to feel like when you're on the street. And here is our schedule. As you know, the demolition now is complete with the exception of Burlington Coat Factory, but the site work has started. You'll see the machines out there this week. The retail Phase 1 buildings start in June. The Burlington Coat Factory demolition will be completed July. We intend to deliver Harris Teeter their pad. They build their own building in November. And we'll begin the retail Phase 2 buildings in November. We'll be completed with the Phase 1 retail shell completion will be February of 2014. Residential construction will start in March of 2014. We'll open the first phase of retail in April of 2014, so we're 11 months away from opening this. Once this stuff comes going, it gets out of the ground pretty quick. It's getting to this point is what takes a long time. The Phase 2 retail shell completion is July of 2014, and we think we'll be fully open from a retail perspective by October of 2014, so about 14, 15 months away. And residential construction should be completed by March of 2016. We're really excited about it. Again, we have tremendous tenant interest in addition to what we've already signed. So we're happy to be doing this for the city of Laurel. We're happy to be partnering with you to making this project a reality. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Council, questions, comments, Mayor?
Clarification. Just the Burlington, this is their new prototype,
Yes, we're building a brand-new Burlington store, new prototype,
as well as Sports Authority, this is their new prototype.
brand-new prototype.
So
yes.
what's sitting across the county line is going to be entirely different.
Yes, yes.
I just want to make sure. Thank you.
And we just opened a Harris Teeter. This is about a 50,000 square foot Harris Teeter, lots of prepared foods. We just opened one in Howard County, and it's really a terrific grocery store.
Any other comments? Councilman Ricks?
You were smiling, I'm smiling, I think and everybody is smiling. I went to an eye doctor appointment this morning, and he's like, I was telling the mayor and the president of the council, all he wanted to do was talk about Laurel and the new mall. And I said, but doctor, you've got patients outside. He said, they'll wait. But so, I mean, there is a lot of anxiety about all this, and I know you feel it too. So we got your back.
Good.
Town Center.
New Town Center.
Yeah, Town Center, Laurel. My mother's, one of her close friends was telling her about 6 months ago, 8 months ago, oh, the Laurel Mall, I believe it when I see it. Well, she's about to see it. So.
Councilman
Okay.
Nicholas?
All right, I'm sorry.
I just want to say good job. I'm very excited. I'm
Good.
very excited. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman McCrary?
I don't know if you'll need any assistance in Las Vegas from the council as far as choosing the stores.
Is anybody going to be out there?
No.
Very well attended, so. I read in the paper this morning it's going to be the best attendance for the shopping center convention in Vegas next week since the recession started in 2008.
Pay your own way and go out, sure.
Miss-
For the benefit of the public, why don't you just explain what goes on out there?
It's really a trade show, and what it does, it puts together developers, from our perspective, it puts together developers and tenants. It also puts together the public officials. I mean, Maryland is extremely well represented with public officials out in Las Vegas, probably one of the best states in the country, but we also have some of the most activity in the country. So it's really a networking for the public officials to try to induce tenants to come to their jurisdictions, as well as the developers to meet tenants. And so we'll have, our leasing team will be, probably has 75 meetings with potential tenants. And there'll be public officials that will be meeting with major tenants out there. And so it's really just a networking thing. And you really know how well you do. Everybody's doing a deal with you when you're in Las Vegas, but you know how you do about 30 days afterwards, when you can really get back and execute with the tenants and bring them home.
You done, Mike? I'm done. Brian, besides your reputation, the company's name, what can you explain to everybody what really draws other stores or to this type of center?
Well, first and foremost is demographics. There's terrific population demographics and solid economic demographics. That's the first key. My personal feeling, it's the most high-profile location in the whole corridor, where all the roads. So the second would be location. Actually, you can say location first. Everybody says location, location. Okay, but demographics, location, road networks around, then the design. And so it's really it's a combination of those three things. Making sure you have a design that works for the tenants, the right location for the tenants. Here I really feel strongly that it is. And the demographics to be able to support the types of tenants that you're going to bring in.
Thank you. I just want to thank you, and in particular in your company, for all the work you've done. As I've said numerous times, and I'll say it again, I've had the opportunity to meet with many developers since I've been mayor and even as a council member, and you're one, it's a class act. Whatever you tell us, you've followed through on. You've been very upfront. You've been, in some cases, too upfront when we ask for certain things. But you're a straight shooter, and I can't tell you, I'm really happy to see this moving forward. I'm really happy, as you know, the public in particular is very interested in what's coming there. And it's been tough, holding back. Some of the things have gotten out, about the Regal theaters and other things. So I can tell you, as we move forward with this project, we're still committed to you and your company and making sure, as I've always said, that is an expensive piece of real estate. Although I had some people wanted us to make it a big park, I've always said that this is a crucial piece of real estate for the city of Laurel, and I think it's a catalyst for several other projects that are going to happen in the city of Laurel. So thank you very much, and for all your staff and all the work that you've done working with the city. You've been very fair and upfront, and your integrity's the highest. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We take our obligation to the city very seriously, and we're going to deliver. So thank you. Thank you for having us tonight.
Mr. Gibbons, before you sit down, I do have one question that's, I couldn't let you get away without asking. You commented just, and this hopefully will be very brief, about bioretention, and with so much focus from the county and the state on impervious, pervious surfaces, runoff, and that sort of thing. Could you just give us just a 5-cent explanation on the bioretention efforts that'll be on this project?
I can do it.
Okay.
I bet my two engineers would be better at it, and if I'm wrong, you correct me. We have underground storage. So we're putting in an entire new stormwater management system, so we're meeting all the new regulations that are required. And if you look through the parking lot, all the green areas have interspersed bioretention. It's a very expensive thing to do. If you look at the how wide these islands are on the site plan, those are all bioretention facilities. Every single one of those is a bioretention facility. And again, the purpose of the bioretention is to improve not just, you have underground facilities to manage quantity of water, you have bioretention to manage quality of water, so it's clean water when it goes into the systems.
Great.
So you could really, and it's interspersed throughout the main street, it's interspersed throughout the parking lots.
Excellent, excellent. I just wanted folks to have a sense that there's really a lot of thought and effort that has gone into the water retention on site for this project. Great.
I do all
Thank
right
you,
there?
Mr. Gibbons.
Thank you.
Can
Thank you.
we, by chance, get copies, or can you leave those for the, we can put out in the lobby?
How about if we send electronically?
Okay, we can make, we just want to put it out in the lobby for general public. We can make copies. You sure? Okay. Thank you very much.
One last thing, I do want to make a comment in thanking the city, and I asked Brian if I could do this myself. As you know, we had a very successful bill in the General Assembly for the liquor licenses for this project. And this is now being recognized as a development district site as far as the liquor board's concerned, which gives us 6 licenses dedicated strictly to this location, which is tremendous. I really have to thank the senator, the 3 delegates, particularly Delegate Barnes and President Miller and Speaker Bush, for hanging in there at the very last minute. We made it official at 10:30 on Signy Die night, but that's done, and that will be a tremendous asset for the leasing people going into Vegas with the restaurant operators. But that wouldn't happen without the city's support and without you all down there doing your testifying and seeking votes. This will be only the 2nd development district in the county, so it's a big thing for the city, and we appreciate all the help. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DePietro. Council will take about a 2-minute break, and then we'll come back and complete our agenda. Mayor and City Council. We'll start tonight with Councilwoman Crary.
Thank you, Mr. President. On the 4th of May, I attended the Lake Fest, Mr. Lotsky's department, and did a wonderful job. And along with the Environmental Committee and President Smalls, we put on a rain barrel demonstration and got some sign-ups for a workshop. The next day, the Tabernacle had their annual International Day, and that was a wonderful event and very exciting per usual. And the employee awards were last Thursday. Congratulations to all the employees that got recognized for the hard work they do all year, as all of them do. And this weekend was the Main Street Festival, which again was very enjoyable. And that's my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman McCrory. Councilman Ricks.
First of all, I also attended Lake Fest and the Main Street Festival. I attended the Employees Awards, and again, from my end too, congratulations to all those people that work hard for us all the time and make us look so good. I'd also like to say that we've received some information from Brookmill Condominiums, and the administration is working to see what we can do to help them out with their particular situation. And our condolences to the Emerson family for the loss that they have incurred this past weekend.
Thank you, Councilman Ricks. Councilwoman Nicholas.
I also attended the Lake Fest and had a wonderful time at the Main Street Festival. On May 1st, I attended the Laurel Regional Hospital's 35th anniversary. And I also attended the 85th birthday of the Laurel Seniors Friendship Club. That was very nice. That concludes my report.
Councilman Ledz.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before I begin my report, I have to say hello to our grandson Aiden, who is watching his first council meeting at our house tonight. They brought him over to spend the night so he could watch me on television. April 26th, of course, we had the Arbor Day celebration, and one of the comments we got was from our friends Department of the Environment, was how big the trees are. Mike, good job. They said they usually don't see them that big. As Councilwoman Nicholas mentioned, ourselves and other council members attended the Laurel Regional Hospital 35th anniversary press conference. It was very nice. May 4th, Lake Fest at Goody Park. Person who had the most fun was my grandson Aiden. Spent a half hour on the playground equipment, and then he kept playing belly flop and the bounce, whatever it is. May 4th, my wife and I attended the Historic Society Gala. Had the pleasure of visiting with former council member Gail Snyder and her husband Fred. May 8th, we hosted the Patuxent River Commission here at City Hall. Had a good presentation by the Corps of Engineers on their engineering capabilities and what they might be able to do for the city. I know that Mr. Fleming's been working with a couple members at the Corps. But more importantly, they're very interested in what the county and the county council is doing with relative to Laurel Lakes. May get some assistance and some second opinion engineering from them. May 9th, I attended the Laurel Regional Hospital Foundation wine tasting at Savage Mill. And today I attended the Laurel Regional Hospital Foundation Board meeting. We had a good conversation about fundraising relative to the hospital. That concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Les. I'm going to be brief. Many of the events my colleagues mentioned, I participated in as well. What I want to talk a little bit under my report about the Laurel Community Garden. I had an opportunity, I took the occasion to stop by the garden over the weekend. And if you haven't been by there, take a look. It's really shaping up. There's still some plots available, and there are still some equipment and other materials that are needed by the community garden. But plants are coming out of the ground, and structures have been built by our Parks and Recs department, and it's really, really, really taking shape. And the energy and the enthusiasm is there. They're having an open house on June 1st. And colleagues, hopefully this isn't news to you, but I'd like to hold our monthly bagels with the council at that site, if you're all in agreement with that, on the 1st of June, as part of their open house. But if you have a chance, drop by. Seems like there's always people there gardening. There'll be nutrition classes and a number of other kinds of workshops that'll be taking place there as well. So it's really worth.
On the first.
Our bagels is at 9 a.m. The open house will begin right after hours, about 10 till noon. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Condolences to Larry Bormel, and who is with Bormel, Grice, and Hewlett, as well as Kathy Grice, and the loss of their mother. Our condolences to both of them and their families. Also heard tonight that former Mayor Joe Robinson was a little bit under the weather and was in the hospital and being released and be home tomorrow, as well as Mike Kirk, who is a member of our Public Works department. Mike was involved in an accident. He is recuperating and should be back at work in a couple weeks or so. So our very best to both of them. Did have the opportunity to attend put on the first City Hall in the Park at Casula Point. I want to thank those residents who came out, as well as we had our quarterly principals breakfast meeting with the Laurel High School. I want to thank Principal Jones for hosting that as well, and thank members of the council for attending. The Arbor Day celebration, where we planted a tree in front of Riverfront Park at Avondale Mill and received our 20th consecutive year of Tree City USA. And again, the tree board, as well as Mr. Lotsky and his staff, job well done for 20 years consecutively. The Laurel Police Department did host the Drug Take Back Day at Partnership Activity Hall. And again, I want to thank the chief and the police department, and as well as DEA, for partnering with us to do that. Side by Side did have their fundraiser to support schools. It was held at Bethany Church. It was a bike ride. They had a 10, a 20, and a 40, and I only did the 10. So I want to thank Side by Side for their work, and Councilmember Nicholas made sure I was there to ride my bike. So it was a fun time, and hopefully next year they'll have more participants. The Laurel Regional Hospital is celebrating 35 years. I want to wish them the very best and thank them. Had the opportunity to attend their celebration, present a proclamation on behalf of the mayor and city council. Lake Fest at Laurel Lakes. Again, Mr. Lotsky and your department, as well as other city staff, want to thank you. Well attended, and just a really nice weather and good time. And I think everyone really enjoyed themselves. Had the opportunity to attend the Laurel Fire Department Life Members Dinner, and I want to acknowledge and congratulate Mr. Ricks, who received his 50 years of service to the department and to the community. So, Eddie, congratulations again. Did have the opportunity to attend the International Day celebration at the Tabernacle Church with Bishop Gurley. I want to thank him again for inviting the mayor and council to participate, and it's always a really good time. The Mayor's Cup for 2013, the golf tournament, was held at Bowie Golf Course. Again, I want to thank all the July 4th members, volunteers, and the members who put that on. I could not attend it due to a work conflict this year, although they probably made out because the way I play golf ain't too hot. So they made some money. They're doing other fundraising activities, and I want to again thank the volunteers at July 4th Committee for all their hard work. I want to thank Ms. Nicholas for attending the 85th anniversary party for the seniors, and again, work has had me tied up, and appreciate you doing that. And always a good time, and I'm sorry to miss it. City of Laurel Employees Awards luncheon, and want to thank the council for being there as well, and congratulate all the award recipients for their hard work and dedication. We did put out a press release with a lot of that information. I encourage the public to see just what their employees do day in and day out. So again, congratulations to them. And the 33rd annual Laurel Main Street Festival, again, was dodged the weather, had a little rain, well attended. I want to thank all the city forces, the police department, public works, and all the volunteers that came out, the Board of Trade for putting this on. It is a very good event, well attended, heard a lot of great comments from the general public as well as vendors. So again, they should be commended for that event. And then the same night, I had the opportunity to attend the Wounded Warriors concert at the American Legion Post 60 fundraiser for all that money that goes to Wounded Warriors, a great cause. I want to acknowledge the Laurel Police Department for their Dare Days. In April and May, they had the Laurel Elementary, Bond Mill Elementary, Deerfield Run Elementary, and Scotchtown Hills Elementary. I had the opportunity to stop by 2 of those days. The kids had an outstanding time. They learned a lot, enjoyed the many different seminars and talks that were given by the police department. And Chief, I want to again thank you and your department for all the hard work continuing to reach out. A couple of announcements. On May the 14th, there'll be a community meeting hosted by Delegate Valentino Smith at the Tabernacle Church on South Laurel Drive from 7 to 8. It's a community meeting. Anybody that would like to attend, please feel free to. The City of Laurel Employees Yard Sale will be here at City Hall on May the 18th, this Saturday, from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. They don't have any booths left, but please come spend some money. All the proceeds.
Sold out now.
Yeah, they are. All those proceeds go to a good cause here at City Hall that the employees put on each year. Bond Mill Elementary School will be having their carnival on May the 18th as well, from 10 to 3. And then on the 18th, Scotchtown Hills Elementary School will be having their carnival and community yard sale from 10 until 3. And on May the 18th, going to be a busy Saturday. National Kids to Parks Day will be held at Goody Park from 10 a.m. until 3. And then last, on May the 18th, the Laurel Volunteer Fire Department will have their EMS open house, 7411 Cherry Lane, from 12 until 3. And I have a couple citations. The first proclamation is, whereas in 1962, President John F. Kennedy designated May the 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which this date falls as Police Week. And whereas law enforcement personnel are dedicated to the communities they serve, working tirelessly to transform neighborhoods, despite facing daily threats, public safety officers embrace innovative approaches to improving and upholding the rule of law. And whereas our officers put their lives on the line to protect others, sometimes making the ultimate sacrifice, one death is too many, and every death is a loss to all the officers' families, colleagues, and community. The service of all who have worn the badge will never be forgotten. And now, therefore, I, Craig A. Moe, the Mayor of the City of Laurel, do hereby proclaim May the 12th through May the 18th as National Police Week. In the City of Laurel, invite and encourage all citizens to greet and thank all of those officers who serve the community. And Chief, I'd like to present this to you and ask you to make any comments.
Thank you. Again, unfortunately, this year our hearts are heavy. We're mourning the loss of Adrian Morse, who died on August of last year. Adrian worked very intimately with the Laurel Police Department. He was assigned this area with Prince George's County. He, in fact, died as a result of a crime that occurred just outside of the city of Laurel. We have a lot of officers this morning that we're doing to meet the families at Reagan Airport. Tonight, there's a large contingent of our officers, our honor guard, that are down for the candlelight vigil. I was listening to the news this evening before coming here, and Senator Ben Cardin, I believe, presented something today about a blue alert. Basically, what that is it makes the state of Maryland one of, I believe it's 18 total states at this point that practice the blue alert. And basically, it's very similar to an amber alert, silver alert. It's a broadcast of every time that officer is injured and or killed in the line of duty. So Maryland is stepping up to the plate. Hopefully, we'll start seeing these deaths start to minimize or start to reduce. However, the track that we're on at this point appears that we're probably going to exceed last year's limits. So thank you for the honor of presenting this again, the proclamation again, and thank you for the support of the council and the mayor's office.
Next proclamation is whereas May the 18th, 2013 is the third National Kids to Park Day organized and launched by the National Park Trust, and whereas the National Kids to Park Day empowers kids and encourages families to get together in the outdoors and visit America's parks, and whereas it is important to introduce a new generation to our nation's parks because of the decline in park attendance over the last decade, and whereas the National Kids to Park Day is open to all children and adults across the country to encourage a large and diverse group to participate. And whereas National Kids to Park Day will broaden children's appreciation for natural and outdoors. And now therefore I, Craig A. Moe, the Mayor of the City of Laurel, do hereby proclaim Saturday, May the 18th, 2013 as National Kids to Park Day. And I'm going to present this to Mike Lotsky and ask him to make a couple comments.
Yes, thank you. Mayor alluded to this Saturday. We are having a special event for this commemoration at Goody Park. If the kids come down, do one lap around the park, we'll give them a free token to get a ride out on the paddle boat. So we're promoting the use of the park, promoting physical fitness, and promoting rewards for doing physical fitness and using the park. So we're very happy to participate in this, and thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it.
McCullough Field Saturday? Okay. I was going to announce, but I'll wait. The last is a proclamation whereas Public Works provides for the maintenance and construction of city facilities and protects the health, safety, and welfare of the community, and whereas Public Works maintains 57 miles of streets and their accompanying sidewalks, curb, gutter, trees throughout the city, with ongoing programs of inspection and repair, and whereas the activities and responsibilities of the Department of Public Works includes administration, street maintenance, refuge collection and disposal, recycling, traffic safety, tree management, snow removal, and automotive maintenance, and whereas the efficiency and the qualified, dedicated personnel who staff the Public Works Department is influenced by the people's attitude and understanding of the importance of the work they perform. Now, therefore, I, Craig A. Moe, the Mayor of the City of Laurel, do hereby proclaim May the 19th through the 25th, 2013 as National Public Works Week. Paul?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for this recognition. The personnel of Public Works, the men and women, are appreciative of the support that they get from the city. They're kind of the unsung heroes that you don't notice anything that they do when they're doing it right. But if they don't do it for a couple of days, we hear about it in spades. But we appreciate this. This is the American Public Works Association week that's coming up. Annually, a national poster, or a poster that's put out for all across America. It's designed particularly related to the theme. The theme this year is because of Public Works, meaning that a lot of the things in government and Public Works, the infrastructure is maintained and works properly because of Public Works. The artist that designed the poster this year is a well-known children's book artist, and her name is Janie Ho, and the poster is in the lobby. You take a look at it. It's particularly designed to encourage the interest of young people in public works functions. APWA puts out lots of scholarships every year, and we're trying to encourage the young people to become interested. So as you look at the poster, you'll see the intent of the poster there is geared toward getting the interest of young people. So thank you very much. We appreciate this and hope you'll, when you see some of our people, just tell them thanks again. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Let me again just acknowledge the three department heads that were up here, and again thank them and their staff for all the hard work that they continue to do, and appreciate the council with their support of all these departments. That concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. President,
Councilman Ricks?
may I make one more comment? The mayor mentioned the fact that the 4th of July committee had their golf tournament in Bowie. That's been bothering me for some time, that revenue leaves this city when we could be benefiting from it. The police department has successfully gone to the Patuxent Greens golf course and recently struck a deal with them. And I had the opportunity to go down there and meet with the managers, and it appears that a deal has been struck for the 4th of July committee to be playing at Patuxent Green next year.
Good. Great. We'll move to agenda item 7, general public hearing. I'll open the general public hearing at 7:49. I have no one signed up to speak. Is there anyone who'd like to speak during the general public hearing? Seeing no one, I'll close the general public hearing at 7:49. Agenda item 8, consideration of a recommendation to reject a bid recommendation for flood proofing at the Barkman-Kaiser Public Safety Complex. This was discussed at the May 1st work session. I'll entertain a motion, council, to reject the bid.
Mr. President, I move that we reject the bid for LA 13-03 for the City of Laurel Barkman-Kaiser Public Safety Complex floodproofing.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Rao, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 I vote yes. Agenda item 9 is the introduction and first public hearing on resolution number 4-13, a resolution to authorize the City of Laurel to assume the full operations of the Laurel Cable Network Foundation. I read the title into the record for the first reading. This was discussed at our May 1st work session. I'll open a public hearing at 7:51. I have no one signed up to speak on this agenda item. Is there anyone who'd like to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing at 7:51. The second public hearing with possible action will be on Wednesday, May 29th, 2013 at 7:00 p.m. Agenda item 10 is the introduction of first public hearing on ordinance number 1760, an ordinance adopting the operating budget of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland for the fiscal year July 1, 2013 through June 30, 2014, and to levy property taxes and to authorize the collection of such taxes. I read the title into the record for the first reading. I'll open a public hearing, at 7:52. Ms. Saylor?
Mr. President, members of the council, as we discussed at the May 1st work session, the FY 2014 budget was presented to you. It is a balanced budget of $27,316,094. It maintains current city services. It holds a tax rate of 71 cents per $100 of assessed value in the real estate tax, $1.69 per 100 for business personal property tax. Excuse me. And we were not required to advertise the constant yield tax rate as we were maintaining the same tax rate this year as we did last. Actually, this is the 6th year at 71 cents for real estate tax.
Thank you, Ms. Saylor. I have no one signed up to speak on this agenda item. Is there anyone who'd like to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing at 7:53. Second public hearing with possible action will be on Wednesday, May 29th, 2013 at 7 o'clock p.m. Agenda item 11 is the introduction and first public hearing on ordinance number 1771, an ordinance to amend the City of Laurel Economic Development Program providing an effective date. I read the title into the record for the first reading. Again, council, this was discussed at our May 1st work session. I'll open the public hearing at 7:53. I have no one signed up to speak. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing at 7:53. Second public hearing with possible action will be on Wednesday, May 29th, 2013 at 7 o'clock p.m. Agenda item 12 is the introduction and first public hearing on ordinance number 1772, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland, amending Chapter 8 of the City Code to create a new Article 6 entitled Donation Bins. I read the title into the record for the first reading. I'll open the public hearing at 7:54. I have no one signed up to speak on this agenda item. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing at 7:54. Second public hearing with possible action will be on Wednesday, May 29th, 2013 at 7 o'clock p.m. Agenda item 13 is the introduction and first public hearing on ordinance number 1773, text amendment number 229, an ordinance to amend Chapter 20 Land Development Subdivision, Article 1 Zoning, Division 5 Zoning Districts, Section 20-12 MXT, mixed-use transportation-oriented, Laurel City Code, providing an effective date. I read the title into the record for the first reading. Again, this was discussed at our work session. I'll open the public hearing at 7:55. I have no one signed up to speak. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing at 7:55. The second public hearing with possible action will be on Wednesday, May 29th, 2013 at 7 o'clock p.m. Agenda item 14 is the introduction and first public hearing on ordinance 1774, an ordinance to close and abandon the right-of-way for an unimproved alley which lies in the middle of Block 40, Farrell and Travers subdivision, located between B Street and C Street, with property currently owned by the Mayor and City Council of Laurel and also by other property owners in Block 40, consisting of parcels 1 through 6 as contained within Exhibits A, B, and C of this ordinance. I read the title into the record for the first reading. I'll open the public hearing at 7:56. I have no one signed up to speak. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing at 7:56. Second public hearing with possible action will be on Wednesday, May 29th, 2013 at 7 o'clock p.m.
Mr. President,
Councilman Ricks.
would it not be in order to go ahead and set aside the rules and vote on this tonight? It serves pretty much no purpose
We can't do
to
that.
wait any longer.
Mr. Brundle?
I'm sorry, say it again? Okay, never mind.
Keep your eyes, sir. Agenda item 15 is the introduction and first public hearing on ordinance number 1775, an ordinance to amend certain project budgets in the FY 2013 through FY 2018 capital improvement program. I've read the title into the record for the first reading. I'll open the public hearing at 7:57. Mr. McCullough.
Good evening, Mr. President and council members. Just a quick clarification for those that might be listening. This ordinance is to take some savings. We combined several projects for street improvements earlier in the fiscal year. Those projects have been completed. There's some savings that were made on those projects when we closed out the invoices for it, and those monies are being transferred to others. So the invoice is basically a closing of some projects and using those funds for other CIP projects. There's no total increase in projects money to the city.
Thank you, Mr. McCullough. I have no one signed up to speak. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing at 7:58. Second public hearing with possible action will be on Wednesday, May 29, 2013 at 7:00 p.m. That concludes our agenda. Is there any other business? Mr. Lotsky, yes.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the council. You should have a memorandum in front of you dated May 3rd, 2013, titled Security Enhancement at the Municipal Center. And we discussed this at the executive session just a few minutes ago. And I'll paraphrase what the memorandum says. Basically, we would like to do some improvements to certain areas of the Laurel Municipal Center for security reasons. We have been able to develop a professional relationship with a company called HIT Contracting out of Falls Church with the guidance of the Laurel Police Department. We have learned that HIT Contracting has a GSA contract with the federal government. We have also learned that they come very highly recommended in the security field, and we would like to do a design portion of the security of this building with HIT, as was discussed in the previous executive session. The contract price from HIT is $52,475. The funding source is an operating budget transfer to the capital improvement program from the FY 2013 budget. And the recommendation at this time, after review by city staff, is recommended that the mayor and city council accept the proposals supplied by HIT Contractors Incorporated for $52,475, subject to the city solicitor's legal review and acceptance of the contract document.
Thank you, Mr. Lotsky. What's the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President,
Councilwoman Prairie.
I recommend that we accept the bid as presented by Mr. Lotsky.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Ricks. Ms. Rao, please call the roll.
Ms. Query?
Yes.
Mr. Ricks?
Yes.
Mr. Les?
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas? Yes. President Smalls?
I vote yes. That concludes our agenda. If there's no other business to come before the mayor and city council, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.